Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, welcome back to the minigame coaster. Very quickly, I do want to apologize for the ending of the last video. The video stopped and I wasn't really keeping track of the time, so that's why I had a very abrupt ending for the commentary, so I didn't have time to say goodbye. But, no big deal. If you're watching this, you're probably watching it with the, right after the old video, so it's not really saying goodbye or anything. So this is shock, drop, or roll. This is actually very difficult. I'd say this is probably the hardest 1 versus 3 to do in minigame coaster. Look away is a close second, though. The reason it's so hard is because the computer players really try to fake you out a lot, and they really almost get too harsh with the lever. I'm actually really surprised I survived that. But I'm even more surprised that it took me only 2 attempts. I was actually expecting to spend a few lives at that game, but oh well, I didn't, so that's a good thing. Next up we have Move to the Music. As I mentioned earlier, you are one of the dancers, you aren't the dance master, so you do have to memorize moves instead of actually teach the moves. Although if you did teach the moves, that'd be kind of unfair because you'd have to wait until all the computer players failed, which isn't fair at all. So, for this minigame, I got a pretty lucky beat, or pretty memorable beat going on. I actually almost, didn't remember the second pattern right here. When it was my turn for the third time, I forgot what button to press, but thankfully it didn't really affect me too much. I wish I could have had Yoshi's pattern right there. Yoshi only had to memorize 2 moves. But thankfully, if you have good memorization skills, that game should be no problem for you. When I was younger, though, I had a lot of problems with that. And just the fact that it's after shock, drop, or roll, jeez. Next we have Filet Relay, my favorite 1 versus 3 minigame. This one can also be pretty tricky if you're not careful with the Penguin's controls. But luckily I don't think I'll really have much of a problem. As you can see, Wario got a pretty good head start, but then he fell. So I was able to take advantage of that. Then I avoided that snowball pretty well, and then I just moved through the walls pretty well. So I was actually pretty confident about winning this game. Although I will admit, Peach right here actually managed to get quite a distance on me. I'm actually kind of surprised she made it past that second hill. She did that very quickly. But I won. That's all that matters. And the final minigame for this world, and the final 1 versus 3 minigame, we have BOB-OMB Barrage. You are the 1 player in this minigame, so you do have to avoid the onslaught of bob-ombs. Not very difficult, but just be careful. Sometimes, if you don't pay attention for 1 brief second, one of them will manage to throw a bomb that you can't avoid. Or you think you avoided it, but you really didn't. So, it can be pretty tricky if you're not careful. I wouldn't say it's, hard, though. There are definitely more harder candidates for the 1 versus 3 games in the coaster. Let's see. He avoided that pretty well. Got kind of scared right there because I was kind of backed up into a corner, but I was able to escape that pretty well. And then I finished, and World 6 has been beaten. And now we move on to the terrible World 7. Jeez, when I was younger, World 7 got me stuck for the longest time. There are just so many minigames you can easily screw up on. It's insane. It's an insane world. First minigame is Honeycomb Havoc. We've been through this minigame a lot. It's not that hard. Just make sure that you play strategic with your fruit collecting, because I actually did almost fail this minigame. I just got lucky that Yoshi made someone else go out instead of me. when I could have easily gotten out and lost the minigame. And you'll definitely see that in a minute. So Donkey Kong got 2, Peach got 2, and if Yoshi got 2, I'd be out. But he actually went for 1. So I actually got very, very lucky. Probably the luckiest throughout the entire coaster. But overall, not a very hard minigame. Just remember when you get down to just 2 people, make sure the the player you're fighting against, gets the third to last fruit before the honeycomb. Because when they get that, you're usually in a good position to get them out. So keep that in mind. Coming up after this game is a game I was stuck on for easily like 5 years. Because I was young, I didn't have the strength and endurance to do it. I was kind of confused on what the directions were asking me anyways. So I had a lot of trouble with this next minigame. And I have no idea why, because when I do the minigame now, I can easily win. Even when you watch me do the minigame after this, I'll cream the computer players. The next minigame is Mecha Marathon. When I was young, I could just never do that minigame. I could never do it. But now, for the coaster, I was able to put 15 yards worth of distance between me and the computer players, which is very impressive, I think. But now that I'm older, and I have more endurance in my fingers, I can do the game a lot easier now. I think I'm actually a pretty good button masher. I'm a pretty good button masher. I wouldn't say I'm the best. During my second semester of college, during my freshman year, there was one of my dorm neighbors was like the best button masher I've ever seen. I think I talked about that in my Mario Party 4 board playthrough. That guy has a lot of the records on my file, so... And I have no way of beating them either, because I am not that fast. I'm a pretty good button masher, but I'm not that fast. I'm fast, but not too fast. And as you can see right here, all 3 of them are just gonna, fail right here. And then I have still, another 15 yards to go. So yeah, I'm definitely a lot better at this minigame now. A lot better. And maybe not 15 yards, maybe 12. It's still quite a distance, though. It's 12 yards between me and the computer players. That's a lot. Okay, the next minigame actually got me for a while as well. Or not this one, never mind. I'm talking about the 4th one. My bad. Abandoned Ship is the 3rd one. I'm talking about the 4th one. Abandoned Ship, I think I've mentioned this many times before. It can be very tricky. You have to be right on with your movements here. And, since you can't really overtake the camera, what I mean by that is you can't be in a position where you're actually going faster than what the camera is. You can't really get that much distance away from the computer players. So at the very end, you really have to button mash, so you're the last person who presses a button. It's very difficult, but it is possible. So you generally want to just hang behind everybody, and then at the final stretch, you just want to really go wild with pressing that button. And that's my only tip for trying to win that game. Okay, World 7-4, and the last minigame for this video. Oh wait. Is it? I don't remember. Hot rope jump. Unlike a normal hot rope jump where you have to be the last one surviving, for this you actually have a set goal of jumps you have to make. You have to make it all the way to 50 jumps. You can't just beat everybody. You have to make it to 50. So all the computer players will probably go before 40. And then you have to spend another 11 or so jumps by yourself. And for the longest time, I just couldn't do it because the rope got so fast, and the jump move kind of restricts you when you land because you can't really get back up and jump again because you have to land and do your small little landing animation. but it's not too bad. It's not that bad. One tip I will recommend doing for this minigame, don't press down on the A button. Just like lightly tap the A button. You'll jump and then like you'll land like very quickly. And it's a good way to try to win this game. It's always helped me out. I've always been able to win this minigame with that technique. So don't like push in the A button. Just lightly tap it. Tap it enough so you can at least jump, but don't like mash it or try to button mash it or anything. And with that, we've beaten Hot Rope Jump. That ends the 4th video of the minigame coaster. Join us next time to when we actually finish the rest of the minigame coaster except the final level. So see you guys then.